Hi everyone! Today we're going to talk about the new Snow White trailer for the Disney's live-action remake. But the trailer, for whatever reason, as of me recording this video, hasn't yet been published on Disney's official YouTube channel. Snow White, starring Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, is supposed to come out in March of 2025. But frankly, the film is not something that most people seem to be excited about. When the news of the live-action remake first started coming out, there was a lot of backlash for many reasons, and we're gonna go over these today. So, the new trailer recently dropped. People could see the trailer when they went to the movies to watch, for example, Wicked or Gladiator 2, but Disney hasn't published their trailer yet on their official YouTube channel. We can only speculate why, but my guess would be they're not too proud of it. Why could that be? Well, one of the reasons why this live-action remake is attracting a lot of negative attention seems to be Rachel Zegler, Snow White herself. People find it particularly ironic that she's portraying one of the kindest, gentlest, the most nurturing princesses, Disney princesses, but Rachel Zegler in real life seems to be quite the opposite of that. Her attitude is putting people off even watching Snow White live-action remake. What celebrities believe in their private life, what they do, is their thing. But the second you make your opinions unashamedly public, that's when you can expect people to react. If you're letting people know how entitled you are,
of an iconic Disney princess, I deserve to be paid for every hour that it is streamed online.
And how much you dislike the original film that the one you're starring in is based on.
The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so. There is a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her.
Yeah.
Weird.
And if we add a couple of controversial tweets and comments on top of that, people will form an opinion about you. You're actively inviting that in. And you can of course expect that your attitude and the image that you put out of yourself will influence people's thoughts and opinions on whatever movie or TV show you may be starring in. Now, the next big issue that seems to be connected to this film are the dwarves. Originally, for this Disney's live-action Snow White remake, Snow White was gonna have a group of diverse magical creatures as her companions. But when photos from the set of Snow White came out, showing these magical companions, this was also not so well received by the public. I mean, are we even surprised? The original title of Walt Disney's cartoon was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. They're literally the heart of the story, so if you take them out or replace them, is this even still a Snow White story? Either make the dwarves in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, or don't make the remake at all if you think that would be too politically incorrect in today's climate, or whatever it is that these people think. So, because of the public's negative reaction to the reimagining of the Seven Dwarfs, Disney decided to do a couple of changes. So instead of these magical companions, they made this atrocity.
Bruh.
Why? Just why? Who thought this was a good idea? These things look like the stuff of nightmares. Honestly, the design is so weird, but not only that, this was supposed to be a live-action remake, and yet it seems like 90% of this film will be CGI. If you can't remake it how it's supposed to be, why? Why did you choose this particular film? CGI dwarfs, CGI animals, CGI mirror. At this point, they should have CGI'd Rachel Zegler's hair, because whoever decided on this hairstyle did her dirty. This is just not fair. No pun intended. And if we say that the dwarves are the heart of the story, the soul of the story is, of course, Snow White, and her kindness, her gentle nature, her perseverance and positivity. To earn her keep, she helps the dwarves, helps keep their home tidy, in exchange for a safe place to stay. She acts as a motherly figure. She adds this feminine touch to a 100% masculine household. Yet in Disney's live-action remake, apparently Snow White has a very different, almost condescending attitude.
It's no longer 1937.
In a leaked scene featuring the song Whistle While You Work, we saw a clip of Snow White, who, in this very confident, some might say arrogant way is ordering the dwarves around, telling them to clean after themselves because, well, she's not gonna do it, is she?
It's no longer 1937.
Now you wash the dishes. You tidy up the room. You clean those cobwebs. And he'll use the broom. Me? Whistle while you work. And cheerfully together we can tidy up the place.
See, in Disney's 1937 cartoon, Snow White sings this song in a very different manner to the animals, who then help her tidy up the dwarf's house. She sees a house in need of tidying and she does a good deed. You know, even just the way Zegler delivers the line, "Whistle while you work,"
Whistle while you work.
it has a completely different vibe to the whole song, to the whole situation, because she actually doesn't seem to do much. She's the one singing and dancing around while giving the dwarfs commands, who should do what. So instead of Snow White saying something like, "Hey, thanks for letting me stay here, let me do something nice for you in exchange," this remake makes it seem more like it's gonna be you're in need of a leader and someone to boss you around because you're too dumb to organize yourselves and clean your own damn house. Let me be that leader.
It's no longer 1937.
And according to this new trailer, Snow White's objective in this story is going to be to take back the kingdom that the evil queen stole.
It's time to restore our kingdom. This is our kingdom, and now we're here to take it back.
I mean, sure, this could be a fantasy story, but this isn't Snow White's story. Why call this movie Snow White if you're going to strip the original story down to its bones and then crush those as well? The fact that Disney decided to proceed with this film after everything that's happened is kind of wild. And if they really won't publish the trailer on their YouTube channel, or maybe they will wait for the dust to settle and just sneakily publish it at some later point, this wouldn't be surprising. The first trailer was a disaster, and a lot surrounding this film was already quite negatively received, so I'm sure Disney knows that the more that comes out about this film, the clearer it will be how much the story has been changed, how much everything has been changed, and they're not proud of it.
Weird.
Now, I think one last big reason why Snow White live-action remake is garnering not that much excitement is the fact that people are simply fed up with remakes, especially live-action ones by Disney. I think most of us are probably hungry for original stories, at least in the sense that they're not prequels, sequels, or remakes. Most recently, Wicked, Part 1, has been proof of that. Yes, it's very CGI heavy, but in a way that seems to go quite well with the story. In terms of the aesthetics and costumes, it's really beautiful and unique. It's acted well, the singing is phenomenal, hands down, even though the actresses are both kind of problematic, for a lack of a better word. But then again, Wicked is a musical, and not everyone is going to be a fan of that, so even in the first place, the target audience may not be that big. But for what it is, Wicked is pretty wicked. Now, in regards to Snow White, we'll have to see how that story plays out, but you bet we'll be watching. If you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much. Please leave a like and a comment for the algorithm. Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below, and consider subscribing if you like random stuff, because I talk about a lot of different things on this channel. Thank you, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye guys.